Thank you. Christor a Chahirli, agus Avishtim a Chahirlach and Chola Chunde a Hachti Dala, agus a Gwyn Ushla. See, when you look out there, that scene actually hasn't changed that much in over 100 years. The people who came up these steps here sometimes came with different thoughts in their minds about their circumstances and their future. I want to thank you, Karen, for allowing this to be hosted here on the steps of Westport House. And long may you continue to rise to the challenge that you undoubtedly face in keeping this product alive, to be enhanced and developed in the years ahead. I'd like to say that this is a day of celebration in many ways. The story of this Greenway began with part of the vision of the Balfour lines in the end of the century before last. And the line began with tragedy and ended with tragedy and ran only for 42 years. I think we should reflect on that, because this is a day of forward thinking and vision for the future. Now, for those of you who are over 20 years of age, or those of you who are over 40 years of age, think of all the places you've been on holidays over the years. It's not just about sunshine, or about good meals, or whatever else. The places that left an impression on you were partly because of the people that you met. And what's involved here is real leadership in a tourism sense, because there isn't any other place in the country that has a facility of this extent and of this diversity available to people. And I would like to say, I don't want to be singling out people here, but I remember walking the Bangor Trail many years ago. And sometimes you ended up to here in bog holes. But I see former councillor Paddy McGuinness down there and Frank Chambers, whom I walked that trail with on a number of occasions. The question that we asked outside, I said, Lenahan's old house down there in the middle of Ballycroy was, can we do something about this? And in deference to your remarks, County Manager, about the SPCs, these have proven their worth, where the members of those committees actually set about doing something. I was in one of the big American multinationals a fortnight ago. We're a highly successful global company. And inside the door there's a very large sign that says, thinkers are great, but doers change the world. Think about that. Thinkers are great, but doers change the world. And while we've spoken about this, and I actually addressed Mayo County Council myself 25 years ago about doing the walk from Newport to Mulranny, opening it as a pedestrian facility, I think this is quite brilliant. But it's not just about this part of our county or this part of our country. It's a microcosm of what we can actually achieve. On the continent for years, many of the oldest used railway lines have been tarred and put in a way that they're available as walking and cycling routes. The New Zealand government, the New Zealand authorities, with spectacular scenery in the North and South Island. I've never been there, but I believe that that's what's involved here. They put cycle lanes and pedestrian lanes along all their major routes now. And their biggest customers are British travellers and British holidaymakers. And that's why, given the location and the topography of our own country, we have at our disposal absolutely brilliant opportunities to enhance what you see here today right across the country, be they for pedestrian or for pedestrian and cycling lanes. I think that's what's going to make the impact on people when they come here to be involved in outdoor activities. Remember, we have only one life to live. We have only one state of health. But it's nice to think that people now have a focus on their own lives and on the quality of those lives. And when you look at the facilities in hospital, the bills that come in through health, that so much can be done by activity, by outdoor pursuits, by good, healthy example for all the children, because it is for them that we build the future, and the future is the only place where we all have to live. I've got the Maillot jaune in the back of the car, my yellow jersey. Obviously, we're not going up the Tourmalet today or Alpe d'Huez. Trains never climb mountains like this. But I hope that everybody participates. If you want to cycle down as far as Kilmena, or down as far as Newport, or whatever, do whatever you can. Because I say, the time will come, and you can't do these things. And then you look back and say, God, what an opportunity I missed. So where better could you be on a day like today, with this warm, sultry weather, on the steps of Westport House, at the launch of third phase of a brilliant facility here in our own county that can be an example for so many other local authorities and around the country as part of what it is that we can do and part of what we are. I was a bit surprised, I have to say, Manager, when I looked at the schedule, because this schedule was not built for cyclists. See, there's a buffet in here first of all. Then you get to Newport and there's entertainment on the streets. Now, I've been in Newport on many occasions when there was more than entertainment on the streets. There's entertainment indoors as well. Sometimes we're down until the early morning. And then I understand that you cycle as far as Mulranny and you have gourmet Greenway food, which means that by the time you get to Achill, you may have to be ferried back here by mechanical transport. In any event, those of us who have had the privilege of being able to travel somewhat longer distances sometime, it's a great opportunity. And for me personally, I like to do these things as a demonstration that while you can do them, you should. And show people that, you know, there's more to living than being just travelling around or sitting on the couch watching television. Get out there and do it while you can. Minister Ring, he's an active, vibrant, energetic Minister for Tourism. He's a professional politician. He understands that people and politics are about connection. And we want to see that every person from our own country or from any other country who comes here as a visitor is made welcome and treated as a VIP. I want the people of our own county and across the country to pass on the savings from the VAT reduction and prove it, so that those people who come to our country or to different parts of our country will leave with a quality experience, that when they're back in their own locations, that they will say, God, wasn't it great how well we were treated in Ireland? Those people really made us feel like VIPs, which is what they are. I see the landscape up ahead in the next 2 years is quite challenging. But I want you to understand here, my mandate is not to leave things as they were, because the way they were is not the way they're going to be. We have to sort this out. And people say to me from all walks of life, from those who are working, from those who are not working, will somebody stand up in front and tell us the scale of this challenge, tell us how deep the pool is, and we'll all roll up our sleeves and get through it and be a better country. I'm very happy to say to you, that I intend to see that remit and that mandate is delivered on. When I'm finished with this, we'll have our country in a position where it's more professionally and more efficiently run, where we have a people and a country with a better sense of values, where they want to go and enjoy themselves by travelling on this Greenway or other greenways or other activities, where they're going to find themselves in their personal lives far happier people, a far more fulfilling society, and a country where we offer opportunity for our young people to live and stay and work at home and raise their families if that's what they want to do. You've heard me before say this. You heard me say this before. By 2016, the centenary of the date when those who rose and rebelled and fought and died, as our country took its first faltering steps towards economic and political independence, I want to see this country being recognised internationally as being the best small country in the world in which to do business, in which to raise a family, and in which indeed to grow old with dignity and respect. These are the things that make us an Irish people. I hope that this Greenway and those who walk it and those who pedal it and those who cycle it will enjoy that experience. And if I might say to you, when you do travel, because I had the opportunity and the privilege of bringing Uthra Nahiran and her husband down here some months ago to walk the section from Mulranny to Newport, stop and look at the quality of the bridges that have been built in those years ago, and think of a former Joe Byrne who would be the gaffer in charge about the keystones and the quality of the stone building in those bridges, which is absolutely complemented by the modern work that you and your workforce have done. I think it sets out the old and the new. I had the privilege of launching the engineering faculty in Galway recently. Magnificent structure. I was saying to them that in Newgrange, many thousands of years ago, without theodolites or digital technology, they were still able to get it absolutely spot on. So for those of you who throw your leg across the bike today, pedal on, pedal upwards. If the sweat's on your chin, that's good. Put on your sunglasses. Like me, all they'll recognise you by is the movement of your body on the bike, because you have the helmet and the glasses, I hope. In particular, let me welcome you, Jonathan, here. That man's story, and his beautiful daughter here, that man's story is worth listening to, because he and his wife and his family, extended family, came through so many personal tragedies and challenges in their life. It's a credit, and I'm proud to see you here for the work you do for the Jack and Jill Foundation, which is absolutely outstanding. Now, I'm going to finish, except to say to you, Karen, I was here many years ago, 35 years ago actually, at a book launch in here. Right, Nora, you know this one. And a former senior official of Mayo County Council tried to get me hooked up with the author. He had glasses of red wine and white wine, and by the time he left, he thought he had a marriage made in heaven. Maybe it would have been, I don't know, but anyway. I'd like to say again, privileged to be here. Let this be an example of cooperation, of leadership, and of everybody along that route, farmers and everybody else who've been so good, extending to people who walk and cycle that route a true Céad Míle Fáilte. Let's demonstrate that not only do we talk about it, but we prove it. Thinkers are great, but doers change the world. And you are all doers, and I'm proud to be in your midst. Cara míle maith.
Thank you very much, Peter. Thank you very much.